When unhelpful habits of the mind are raising the stress pain thermometer, you can also choose to experiment with relating to the thoughts with any of the techniques you have already learned, or one or more of these other approaches. 1. You may choose to simply watch your thoughts as if they are projected onto a screen, and you watch them as an observer, waiting and watching without getting taken along with any of them as they flash across the screen. 2. To label all thoughts, whether they are positive, neutral, or negative, as just thinking. In this way, all thoughts, even particularly juicy ones, are seen simply as mental events, without necessarily any substance or truth. And even if you believe there is at least a grain of truth to a thought, it is up to you to see it for what it is, and then to choose how to respond. 3. Perhaps you might choose to return to our discussion about the unhelpful habits of mind and to ask yourself if you are engaging in any of those habits. Perhaps labeling it, fortune telling, and then bringing awareness to your breath. 4. To express your thoughts by writing them down on paper. This also gives you a degree of distance from your thoughts so that you can see them for what they are. There is something about getting thoughts down on paper and the pause between having the thought and getting it written that opens up a fresh perspective and allows you to process the thought and emotion and to reflect without getting carried away by the thought or emotion. 5. You might wish to ask yourself, where did this thought come from? What mood state might be accompanying this thought? How am I relating to this thought or mood in my body? Am I adding more baggage to the bare facts? And is there something I can acknowledge with kindness and let go? Perhaps gently saying to yourself that there may be another way to view this situation. 6. When working with particularly challenging thoughts, or if the same difficult thought keeps coming up, it might be helpful to bring these thoughts to the workbench of the mind in meditation, using the guided audio, introducing a difficult thought, so you can mindfully observe them in a balanced, intentional, accepting way, and to see what might come up for you in such an open context. As we become more skillful with this practice, we may begin to see thinking in the same way as we see breathing. For example, it's just a natural process, a natural activity, and we can observe this activity of the thinking mind without getting lost in the activity. That is to say, lost in the storyline of our thoughts. The power of this practice of recognizing thoughts simply as mental events is that it opens up choices in any situation. It shows you what options are present, what other viewpoints there might be, and all of this gives you the opportunity to choose how you want to respond. This allows you to see difficulties in a different light. Thoughts, emotions, pain, any difficulty becomes not a breeze, but more manageable, less stressful.